Today you will discover that some of Hollywood's highest grossing movies were actually filmed in Mexico. I will reveal you the Mexican landscapes that made Hollywood succeed, from where classic westerns were really shot, locations that inspired Hitchcock, where one of the most iconic monsters in cinema came, and to the filming site of one of the highest grossing films in cinema history, and it is not Avatar. To create one of the most iconic monsters in cinema, Predator, the director and his team had to travel to the Mismaloya jungle in the south of Puerto Vallarta, Jalisco. The filming was not without its setbacks, as the actor inside the suit had to put on and take off the costume, a process that could take several hours, and then performing it in the sweltering jungle heat. Even Peter Hall has said it was one of the toughest experiences of his career. Today, the set is a place that you can visit, and it is called El Edén de Mismaloya. It is an ecotourism park with zip lines, a restaurant, and jungle tours that you can visit. Did you know that the initial chase and dodge epic jump were filmed at the Misolja waterfalls in Chiapas? And the final battle between Dodge and the Predator were shot at the Agua Azul waterfalls, also in Chiapas, very close to Palenque. A prehistoric comedy starring none other than Ringo Starr? Yes! Caveman is the example of how the deserts and canyons of Sierra de Órganos in Zacatecas became Hollywood's ideal canvas for the Stone Age. It was here that Ringo Starr met Barbara Bach and they later married. Have you ever imagined visiting a place that looks like prehistoric times and that seems like Flintstones? These stone structures shaped like organ pipes reach a height of 200 feet. Today you can climb, hike, camp, and cycle. I don't know about you, but if Barbara Bach and Ringo Starr fell in love in Zacatecas, Mexico, I think this desert is the best place for you to have a honeymoon. Did you know that Lalo Schifrin, the conductor and composer of the music of this movie, is the same who composed the music of Mission Impossible? The film that revived the swashbuckling adventure genre and made Antonio Banderas an international star used more than 20 locations in Mexico to represent colonial California. I don't have time to name all of them on this video, but the most famous scene, where Zorro and Elena meet and have a fight, was filmed at Hacienda de San Miguel Regla in Hidalgo. It is just 2 hours far away from Mexico City. It was one of the Mexico's richest silver haciendas, and today it is a hotel with stables, gardens, a dam, and aqueducts. I would dare to say that it is the most beautiful hotel in Mexico. And let me give you a travel tip. If you are planning to get married or spend your honeymoon in Mexico, I will do it here. You can have an open-air ceremony in the courtyard, and just 10 minutes away, you will find Prismas Basálticos, waterfalls with prism-shaped rock formations. There are only 2 in the world, and the other one is on Ireland. Now I am going to reveal the place where most Hollywood westerns were filmed. Have you ever wanted to walk into an old West saloon or stage a gunfight in the middle of the desert? Well, it's not Arizona, it's not Texas, it is San Vicente Chupaderos, Durango, Mexico. During Hollywood's golden age, this was the set where legendary westerns were filmed, where John Wayne, Dean Martin, and Steve McQueen stepped onto the dust that you can step on today. More than 130 westerns were filmed here, including The Magnificent Seven, The Sons of Kerry Elder and Big J, and many others. The cantina, the jail, the bank, the saloon, the church, everything here remains intact. Visiting this place is the most authentic and surreal western experience you can have off the screen. But if you want an experience that is 10 times better with an immersive western, I will reveal you the Mexican town if you let it know in the comments, please. You have seen that the Old West is an American, that Arnold and the Predator had tequila after filming, that you can get married like El Zorro, and that a beetle was a caveman in Zacatecas. And now, you will see how one of the world's most beloved films, Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban, is more Mexican than British, and how one of the most commercially successful movies in cinema was filmed in Mexico at the end of the video, and it is not Gone with the Wind. By the way, did you know that Charles Chaplin married secretly in Mexico, in Empalme, Sonora, with Lita Grey? And also that the most famous Tarzan in cinema decided to live in Acapulco, Mexico? Apocalypto. This action and adventure film was set in the final days of the great Mayan civilization and it was shot in Mexico, featuring Mexican indigenous actors in the cast. Just like in Mel Gibson's previous film, The Passion of the Christ, where all the dialogue was filmed in Aramaic, in this film it was filmed in Mayan. Mel Gibson described the shoot as the toughest of his career due to working with jaguars, snakes, and peccaries. The filming locations were Catemaco, San Andrés Tuxtla, and Paso de Ovejas, all in Veracruz. Catemaco is, without a doubt, the most famous of the three towns nationally and internationally. It is known as the capital of witchcraft, and it is the most important center of witchcraft in Mexico. Every year, on the first Friday of March, the National Congress of Witches is held, where shamans, healers, and spiritualists from all over the country gather on the Cerro del Tepepan to perform cleansings, rituals, and change their energy. The scene of Troy, filmed in Mexico, is the famous fight between Achilles and Boagrius, and the landing of the Greek army on the coast of Troy. They were filmed on the beaches near Cabo San Lucas, Mexico. The producers were looking for pristine coast, turquoise waters, and golden cliffs that would resemble the geography of Greece. Hundreds of local fishermen and residents from Los Cabos were hired to play Greek and Trojan soldiers, and many remember seeing Brad Pitt on the beaches or in the bars of Cabo San Lucas during the breaks. Although Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban was not filmed in Mexico, the film's director is Mexican and his name is Alfonso Cuarón. He's part of what are known as the Three Amigos of Mexican cinema, which also includes Guillermo del Toro and Alejandro Iñárritu. Alfonso Cuarón included three Mexican references in the film. For example, in the Honey Duck Sweet Shop, you can see sugar skulls called calaveritas, which are traditional Mexican candies used for the Day of the Dead. When Dumbledore says his last lines outside the hospital wing and walks down the stairs, he hums the Mexican song La Raspa. And in this scene, the fountain has statues of eagles devouring a serpent which appear on the Mexican flag. The place where Kate and Jack fell in love, shared their first kiss, and lived the most iconic romance in film history wasn't in the docks of Southampton, but on the Mexican beach of Rosarito in Baja California, Mexico. That's right, you heard correctly. The largest and most complex production of its time and the second highest grossing film in history was filmed in Mexico, second only to Avatar and Avengers, both by the same director James Cameron. To shoot the film, they built a steel and concrete ocean tank with a capacity of 25 Olympic swimming pools, making it the largest of its time. Additionally, they created a full-scale replica of the Titanic's upper deck, which is featured in the scenes where the ship slowly sinks. Over the years, the sun and humidity have taken their toll, but you can still visit it. Well, but Mexico still holds the honor, thanks to Titanic, of having been the filming location for the first movie to gross over $1 billion worldwide, and for the highest grossing love story in history. The most watched love story in history, the most famous ship in the world, the myth that millions cried over, sank on Mexican beaches. So now you have seen that Mexico is not just beach, tequila, and sombreros. Mexico is the secret stage of film history. And if you want me to make a video about any of the locations I mentioned, let me know in the comments, please. Because this, amigos, is just the beginning. And remember, yo soy el Mexicano Loco. ¡Hasta luego!